Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I uploaded a video. Yes, I'm back. In that case, if you've not subscribed to the channel, you can see the subscription button. Hit it. Hit it right now. Yeah. And also like the video, comment your thoughts, and then share the videos. So in today's lesson, we are going to learn about proximity analysis. So closeness of a feature to another feature. So in ArcMap, proximity analysis, it basically involves analyzing the relationship between features based on their proximity or distance. So you are calculating the distance between features. So this can include tasks like probably finding the nearest neighbor, creating buffer around features, and also calculating the distance between features, and also conducting spatial joins based on their proximity. So sometimes you want to see how far a hospital is closer to you, or how a church is closer to you, or anything closer to you. We are coming to perform some of this analysis. And our data here, I have hospital features. So I want to perform proximity analysis. So there are different types of um, proximity analysis in ArcMap or in ArcGIS. Typical of them are the near to, which will help you calculate the distance um, from each feature in a point feature. And we also have the buffer, which we'll be doing today. So we are going to use the buffer tool. We also have the generate near table. We also have the spatial join. We have the points distance, and we also have the cost distance. So these are some of proximity analysis you can perform in any work you are doing. So basically, for today, we are just going to talk about two types of the tools in ArcMap. So we can open our Arc toolbox, and we have here, so proximity. If I close it, it can be located in my analysis tool. I open it, and we have extract, overlay, proximity. So when I open the proximity, as you can see, we have the buffer, we have the create T's and polygons, we have the generate near table, graphic buffer, multiple ring buffer, near, points distance, and polygon neighbors, as we discussed earlier. So for today's video, we are going to learn about the buffer, and then the generate, and then the multiple ring buffer. These tools are similar, but they have different characteristics. So I'm going to perform um, a proximity analysis using the buffer and the multiple ring buffer. So one might ask, what is the buffer tool? So the buffer tool is basically creates buffer zones around input features such as points, lines, or polygons. And these buffer zones represent areas that are specific, or that are specified distance away from the input features. So probably you might picture this in your mind. You can say the buffer tool calculates the geometric shape around each feature input based on a specified buffer distance. So let's say you have an area, the spread of COVID-19, you can perform a buffer, a 1 kilometer buffer, a 2 kilometer buffer, 5 kilometer buffer, to see how far the disease can spread. So for example, also, if you have a set of points representing cities, and you use a buffer distance of 10 kilometers, the buffer tool will create circular buffer zones with a radius of 10 kilometers around each city point. So let's get started with this one. So for my input features, I'm going to use my healthcare facilities. I want to create a buffer around them. Then your output feature, you can name it. So let me name it hosp hosp buffer. All right, and the distance. So here, the distance you want to use is very important. So you can say you want to perform a 1 kilometer buffer around each hospital. You want to perform a 2 kilometer buffer around each hospital. You want to perform 1 meter buffer around a hospital, depending on what you want. So here I would like to use 1 kilometer. Then my units, I would want to use kilometers. So here there is inches, degrees, nautical miles, millimeters, miles, meters, anything you want, you can select it. So in this case, I would like to perform just a 1 kilometer buffer. Then the dissolve type, probably you can leave it as none. You don't want to dissolve it. You want to buffer everything as it is. Then I can click on OK, and it's going to do that nicely for me. All right, so this is it. So this is how the buffer tool works. So basically you want to perform, so let me check, minimize this ones. All right, so if you take individual hospitals, you want to see 1 kilometer buffer away from each one. So you want to see which hospitals are closer to the other. So here there's our buffer, and you can see if I travel 1 kilometer away from this hospital, from here to here, probably I will have to go all the way to get another hospital. And from here, within a 1 kilometer buffer, from here to here, I'll definitely meet another hospital. From here to here, I'll also meet another hospital. That applies to this. So if I travel from here to here 1 kilometer, I'm gonna meet a hospital here. And probably from here to here 1 kilometer, I'll have to travel a whole miles to get another hospital here. And you can see for these sections of the map, when I perform the 1 kilometer, almost every 1 kilometer I go, I'll meet a hospital. So every 1 kilometer I'm going to meet a hospital. Every 1 kilometer I'm going to meet a hospital. So from here, let's say this is my start point, or this is my residence. So if I travel 1 kilometer here, I'm going to meet a healthcare facility. If I travel 1 kilometer, I'm going to meet healthcare facilities here. So this is basically how the buffer tool works. All right, so there was a tool that we need to do again. So still on the buffer, input the existing healthcare facilities, and of course just 1 kilometer, and you can come. So now the dissolve type. So the dissolve type, simply, do you want to dissolve some of the points, the boundary, the buffer into them so they become as one? So you can select all if you want, then you click on OK, and we are going to see how that also works. Perfect. So this is how the dissolve works. So it has created a 1 kilometer buffer and it has merged all the polygons. So you can see all these regions are served with healthcare facilities. So 1 kilometer away from each hospital, the areas are well served with healthcare facilities. However, for these sites, for these sections, you find no hospital facility. So this is basically how the buffer tool works when you want to dissolve the buffers around, or the polygons around, or you want to leave them as such. So depending on the analysis you want, you can do. So this is an example of an analysis I did earlier. So I have the served, overserved, and then the underserved. So it was basically showing me areas that are served. So if you look carefully, the served areas are the green ones. So within a 1 kilometer buffer, they are all served. And then I have the overserved. So the blue sections are the overserved um, areas. So within a 1 kilometer buffer, the areas have too much of healthcare facilities, then they're underserved. I have to change the color. So this the underserved areas that had no healthcare facilities. All right, so let's move on to how the multiple ring buffer tool works. So as I said, it's work similar to the buffer ring. So the same procedure, I input my feature and the distance. So let's say I want 0.5 kilometers. So after typing it here, you click on the addition sign. Then probably I want 1 kilometer, and I also want 1.5 kilometers. Then the same one, the buffer unit, you need to specify. So I want it in kilometers. And for here, we want to dissolve it. So you select all. Then you click on OK, and it's going to run it for you. So the buffer tool is very interesting. The multiple buffer ring, it creates a multiple buffer around input features at varying distances. So you can see different distances. You can use as many distance as you want. And each buffer ring represents a different distance from the input feature. So it is very nice. So let's say if you have a point such as the hospital facilities here, and the input feature in the specified buffer distance are, let's say I use 0.5, 1 kilometer, and 1.5 kilometers. The buffer or the multiple buffer ring to create 3 concentric buffer rings around the hospital facilities, and each of them represents different zones or influence impact. So let me change the symbology so we can make analysis quite interesting. So here I would like to use this. It should be okay. All right, so quite colorful. All right, so with the same one, so if you should take a careful look at this map, you realize that my attributes table for my information here, the green section represents 0.5 kilometers, and then the orange or the yellow one represents 1 kilometer, and the red ones represent 0.5 kilometers. So let's say I have a hospital facility here and I've created a multiple buffer ring. And here within 1 kilometer, you can see clearly this is within 0.5 kilometer. So here it indicates all the facilities in a range of 0.5 kilometers. And then we have the 1 kilometer. So from this point all the way here is 1 kilometer. And then we have the 1.5 kilometers. So meaning from here all the way to the red section, 1.5 kilometers. So let's say you want to make an analysis. So you want to cite a new hospital away from another hospital. So let's say I would like to build a hospital 1.5 kilometers away from this existing hospital. So when you perform the buffering, it will automatically 1.5 kilometers around this region. So basically, I'll cite my hospital facility here. Or let's say I would like to cite a pharmacy 1.5 kilometers away from the hospital. So here, after I've made analysis, then all the red zones will be the place I'm going to site or build my pharmacy. Or you can also say I want to build a lorry station 1 kilometer away from the pharmacy, away from the hospital. So the 1 kilometer will be the yellow regions. So sometimes these are some of the analysis people make for accuracy assessment. So the multiple buffer ring is just like the buffer ring. However, it is more detailed. You can add more and more distance as you move forward. So you can see this side at a distance of 0.5, the green ones, then 1 kilometer, the yellow ones, then red, and here. So you can see this too helps in making good decision, and also helps in generating feasibility study maps. So it helps the individual to determine proximity to certain features, and also define areas of influence or analyzing spatial relationship. So in summary, they are powerful tools for understanding spatial patterns and making informed decision in various fields. So it is practical in urban planning, environmental management, and emergency response. So let's say here there's an outbreak of COVID-19 in these zones. So you want to perform a buffer 1 kilometer away from this zone. So this is going to be it, 1.5 kilometer, and then any distance you want. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you do enjoy this video, don't hesitate to give it a like, comment your thoughts, and then share the video. In my next videos, I'm going to bring exciting ones like the analyze. So we are going to talk more about the great season polygons, and then the near table, and then the points distance. Thank you for watching this video. Till then, see you another time. Thank you.